In this video, we're going to continue on with the point of sale system in JavaScript, and we're now using PHP as well, and this is part 25. And what I'm going to do here is basically, this will be a very tiny video, but I want to make a preparation for an item, because what we need to use eventually is the AJAX, where we can send the data into a PHP, where we'll push it through, and that will be, of course, a bit more tricky. So what I want to do here is just to get a little bit ready, just to prepare. And what we're going to do here, because I know that there is a lot of console logs active, so I'm going to remove them. You can see as I click on this, you can see we have a lot of console logs here. So let me clean up this first. So that's 480. Let's go here to number 480. Let's see here. This, oh, there's not 480. I guess it's a little bit different. All right. And the reason why this happens probably because the PHP code is in here. So it will count those or exclude them from the count. So in this case, this is year 1. So if I save that and refresh, we should now have only, oh, we still have, alright, fascinating. But I'm going to remove this anyway. I'm going to just search here for console log. Console, oh, there we are. These are probably the items. We can remove this as well. So if I save them, click, do I have that? Alright, still keeps on coming. So let's click on this one. You can see here the quantity and the index. Alright. So search for the quantity here. And then we have the index as well. So I'm going to remove those. Don't need this anymore. And let's see now if I check out here. Or I do this here. Alright, so I realize here one thing. You might notice here the image is different. So let's see what's going on. What am I missing on the image? So maybe I forgot to put in an item in here as well. So let's do that one as well quickly. Food.png. And this is the menu item where it's 1. Alright, so the other one here. So most likely, alright, so I guess what we forgot is to, this is the drinks category, which is number 2. Probably I had to put in this here. So if I go back to the other one with the food, we should also have this one automated based on whatever is in here. So let's save that, refresh. There you are. Alright, so that's solved as well. Let's clean up more, because now and then after I will start working on a lot of items. You can see we have a lot of items here that we need to remove. Let's click on this. Here, that is 448. There you are. So let's, I guess we can just do the console logs here. We'll do console.log. Alright. Alright. There we are. I guess all of these items can be removed now. These as well, because this was all for testing, and you can see it's a quite messy if you leave them in there. Let's save that. Do we have anything else? Element source, no. Console log. Console, there we are. Click this, click that, close that, do that, plus that. Alright. Check out, click, click, confirm, confirm. Alright, so we have another one here at 611. You'll be the console log all buttons. Alright. So let's grab that one. There we are. Delete that. Save, refresh, and now we should have now a clean console log. And the reason why is I need to get a specific item here. So what we're going to look for is, well, if I click on this, then here confirm, alright, nothing more. What I really want is this. Let's put it here, click on this, and then when I click here on whatever we select here, confirm, the items need to come out here that we need. And what I need to know really is which item did we order, or that did the customer order, which would be the pizza, the price, quantity, etc., etc. So I want those in this specific button. If I click here on this and then say confirm, I should see all the information I need to see, because that will be eventually sent to AJAX, and from AJAX we're going to send it to PHP to insert it in the database. So this is very important, and having that organized is important here. Alright, so what I want to do first is I want to grab this confirm button. I need to know where are you located, which is the confirm page. Alright, copy this ID. Here, Control F, search for it. Alright, this is enable. I need the confirm button. So let's look, confirm button, I guess this would be it. Enable the confirm paid button, which is this here, confirm paid, am I correct? Let's search for the function, probably that's better. Confirm paid button, alright, confirm paid button, enable confirm paid button, that is this button here, or this function here, sorry. This is the function name, and in this function name, so the moment we click, we should be able to do here something. What I will do is, make a console log, send, well, make this a string, send data. So if I save this here, refresh, click, press, exact amount, confirm, console log, send data. Alright, so we have this one here. So this is the data where I want. So what is the data we need? This is very important because getting the data ready is important. So what do we need? Let's look at our database here. I have two parts here, and this is why it becomes more tricky, because one part would indicate the items that the customer ordered, and the other part would be basically the order details. And the order details, if I click here on structure, you will see here the most important one. Amount, customer, how much they paid, if there would be any change. Then we have here the order customer name, and we have here the discount. In this case, we don't have any discount here. The order date for automatic. And these two are all automatic. This one can be ignored for now. So we say order amount. So we need to prepare this in advance. So how do we get all of this data here? Well, most likely we have here, this is the amount. But we could probably, we might be able to get them independently, or if we add them all up, but I guess that would make too much work. So we could just get basically the value. This is the amount that I realize could be also in here in the order slip. We also see the price. However, that'll be alright. I guess the order amount separate here is probably easier for us later on. So what I'm going to do here, let's get the order amount. So this is what we need. Order amount. What I need more is amount paid. And then here, any change. Where we have more. Order change. Alright, customer name. Name, order discount. Alright, all these others we can ignore. And then what we need as well as in the order slip is basically the order items, which would be basically the item ID, the item name, and then the item, the order slip item price, basically, or the item price and the quantity. So then we have here that would be the order name. And the reason I'm doing this, you might say, well, you can just get the IDs of these items and you're done, which is correct, but maybe, and this can happen sometimes, you change data. You can imagine that someone says, well, I want to change the name of Coke, maybe to Coke large, Coke small, Coke big, etc., etc. So all these kind of things could impact your name. So, but what I want to do is to make sure that we have just the official name here. Normally, you should not change the name of the item, you should just add up a new item. But you don't know if they have the ability to adjust the name of it, then they might say, oh, alright, I'll just change that. The same with the price here. The price must be hard-coded because you want to avoid that. If they would say, well, before Coke was $1 and now we say Coke will become $1.99, that would mean that the price might change, and they might set then they might update the price instead of adding a new item, which is a quite common thing to do. But the problem, of course, that would mean that few previous or historic paid items would be also adjusted to the new price, which you don't want. So we're going to do here, that's why it's all hard-coded things, or hard-coded. We're going to all hard-coded in the database, so it will be stored in memory. So we have the order name, I guess that's the order name of the customer. This should be the order or the item name, item ID, item quantity, which is basically all the things we already have. And we have a final one, which is the item quantity, item price. So where can we find all of this? Because this is the most important one. Let's see. You can see here we have, I guess here is the amount paid of value. What is that? The calculator. That's the amount. That was the total amount, if I'm not mistaken. Well, let's start to work with the easiest one. The easiest one is basically this one here up. You can grab this first. So you can see what they cover. So they cover the order item array, or the order ID, the item array, which would be the name, the price, image I would not use at all because we don't care about the image. Our most important item would be here, name, ID, price, and quantity. So I'm going to copy all of these and then remove afterwards the ones. So let's go down here, let's get this here, and this here, of course, everything else can be removed. We don't need all of this, and we don't need the image. We don't need to splice anything. We're not going to modify the array. All I want to do is to read our current array. And this is the reason why this one is basically outside. So if you scroll this here, if I'm not mistaken, it should be here outside at the very beginning. Scroll up. Where are we? There you are. This is the one. This is the reason why it's all outside here. So let's scroll down here back. And let's see. Alright, this is it. The confirm paid button. So in here, let's do console log. And then I'm going to just comment these out first. Because what I want to do eventually is I want to get the order ID array. Let's see what this really is, but also I want the others as well. Let's put in all of these items. We get the quantity, we get the price, we get the item array, and we have the order ID. So if I save this now, and oh, I don't need to refresh that one, I need to refresh this. And then I want to just deactivate this. Alright, click this, check out, confirm, paid, console log. Alright, so there we are. We have all of this information here. And this one apparently is 0, but I guess this is not really the item I need to know. What I really want is the item ID. So this is this is the incorrect one, because 0 doesn't exist in our menu items. So if I select here, we should get here whatever we select, which should be the menu item ID. Very important that this is always connected. So let's go back here and just check this one is wrong. It's good that we double check this. So scroll up and search for the right one. Let's see. We have the order item ID, and then I guess it should be this one. The order item ID array should eventually be the item that we're looking for, or the ID of it. So am I correct? You can see item ID will be, item ID is this one here. As you can see, this is the one we need. So scroll down here back to our confirm page. Where are you? Confirm paid. Alright, that's it. This is the one. Save this, refresh. So click on this and let's click another one. Alright, confirm, amount paid. There we are. So now we get ID 1 and ID 2. Alright, pizza 1, pizza 2, and all this is correct. So this is a confirmation for us. So what we can do now is to continue on. So what we're going to do here is getting the next item. So we have these here. What we're still missing is basically this here, the order amount, and everything else. So I'm going to comment out this, but we know now the items that we need. So we have this one done. So let's get the order amount here. So the order amount will be eventually, should be somewhere here, or even in the item here. If I click on this, because the moment we click on this, it will get the item, so it should get the value as well. Let's see, here would be, this has been disabled, but what is the ID name? The ID name is equal to amount. Alright, so we can grab this here. Let's see here. Alright, so this is the one here, as you can see. So let's see here. Well, if I grab this one, this would be the amount. So the order amount should be this one here. Console log. Alright, so next what I want to do is the amount paid. So what's the amount paid? The amount the customer paid, it will be equal to this one here. So I select this. You can see here the amount paid is the ID customer amount paid. So I'm going to grab this, and this is as well a input value, so we can get here the value as well. Let's see, that should be this one here. So I say here, we can just copy this, cut out this, put it in there. Then we have that one. The next one is of course the change. So the change of course here is 0, but later on We will test this to see if we can get another change. We'll put in a specific value. The customer amount change. That's the ID name here. So this should be that that will be any change. Alright, put it in there. Going to grab this, put it in there, cut out this, put it in there. Alright, and final one is the customer name. So the customer name will be this. But this will be basically dependent because if there's no customer name, I just want to grab the number. So we can say here customer, and then we pronounce a name, or we say customer number 88 or number 88. That's basically how it works. Alright, so customer name will be this. And if there's none, basically we can just give it the default value. So I guess this here, when should we enter this? Doesn't matter. I guess when we confirm here, this should be added first before they pay. So this would be that eventually confirmed with the value. So we have to look at this later on, but this is the least important for me now. So I'm going to say a customer name. Put in this. I'm going to grab in here. And basically this could be even an if statement. You could say here if customer name dot value length dot value dot length, or if empty, I guess that should be if empty. I guess that would be the right one. Alright, so just let's test this first just to be sure, and then I just see a tiny mistake here. Document dot get element by ID. Make sure you have that, or else you will get, of course, an error because you need to pinpoint it into the DOM or the document here. So I'm going to say this here. So if this would be equal, well, let's say equal, just equal, not strict, but just equal 0, and then say here, I'll just say here console.log nothing. Alright, save that. Make sure you spell it correctly. Save that, refresh, and let's just confirm what we have here. Alright, confirm this. Go here to the console log. We say here nothing. That is nice. It shows here 5. Alright, all of these here are blank. That's interesting. Let's see what's going on here. Why is this blank? Customer document dot value, how much the customer paid. So the customer paid, according to this, it is blank. So why is it blank here? Customer paid this change. We have this amount, that amount here. So why is this one working while the others are not? Alright, that's the value. Customer amount paid dot value. Customer amount paid. So what is this exactly? The customer, how much did they pay? Alright. So how much did they pay? Let's see. We need to see here because for some reason it doesn't want to grab the item here. So why is that? Is it because of the disable, or is this considered something else? Input type number. Customer amount paid. Alright. The value. So let's just only try this. And to see if we grab any value. Save that first. Refresh. Check. Do this. Let's say $20 now. Confirm. Alright, so we have this here. Console log shows we get the value, but the amount is disabled. And what is the value here? So it has a value, but the value is equal to disable, but doesn't show any value as well. I guess it doesn't grab the value here, so that would be slightly tricky. That would mean that we need to grab it from somewhere else. So where do we grab it? Well, we can go here. Basically, we can grab what it pays here, and then we can deduct that from the amount value. So what we're going to do is just a tiny formula. So I'm going to grab, click this here, click on that, calculator screen. Here's a value equals 0. So maybe that's missing, that's why it doesn't grab it, but that's alright. So what I'm going to do here is get this ID, calculator screen amount, because that is the amount we will pay whatever we select here. So what we're going to do here is, instead of this, dot value. So if that will be the case, we should be able to calculate then here the value. Well, what I can do is, let me just first save this to confirm if this works. And if once it works, we can push on. Alright, let's say here $50, confirm. Console log. We grab here the $50, beautiful. But now we can deduct these two from each other. But you can see here, this is gray. If this is gray, it means it's a string, it's not a number. So we need to convert this. So what we're going to do here is the following. Let's see, this console log can be removed. We could say here, paid. And then I will say here, well, later on we could just check, maybe we need to do parse, not parse int, parse float, I think. Parse float, if I'm not mistaken, or parse.float, one or the other. I think it's like this, alright. So we'll force it into a number. Here, same story, parse float. Alright. And what I want to do here, of course, this is the amount. I'll call this the amount. Let's see, so we have this here, parse float, and then what I want to do here, of course, what is then the change, the customer change amount. So I'll say here change, we'll use it later on, and then we say here amount minus paid. Save this, refresh, let's see. Alright, confirm, paid, $100, there you are. Alright, we have this, we have these two, so we're getting closer now. So we have now the values, you can see here negative, don't worry about that, and the reason why it's negative is because we have this paid, well, we calculated wrong exactly. So we can say a constant change, and then we say here equals what we pay, or our paid amount, paid minus the official amount of the price. So we have this here. I saw something here with a lot of items or decimals. We might have to check this later on. We might need to or at least fix that. This one here, I realize what we can do here maybe is we have this if statement here. I think maybe this is not really necessary. I'm going to keep it like the name, like this. And then I'll just say here, const name will be this. If it's blank, that's alright with me. We can just do nothing, basically. So we don't need to do anything then. Why? Because later on, we can just say one or the other. We don't have to put in a customer name. We have to force then the number here, because this is basically our ID number. Although it's not really the ID number. I'm going to use a trick on that to avoid a certain risk. So this is very important here. Alright, so we have all of this, and most likely now we should have everything to insert our item. So if I have here a nice amount of drinks and then etc, food, confirm this, pay, confirm. Alright, console log. Oh, of course, console log doesn't work, of course, because we have all of this. So we should have now all the values here. So we have all the values now. We are ready eventually for putting it in. But what we need to put in is the following. We're going to put in here, this amount will be independent from what we ordered. And these here will be a separate row for every item with their quantities. And the reason why is that we have all of these multiple rows, but of course their numbers will eventually be connected with the menu item, or not with the menu item, sorry, it is the order slip. In the order slip, we have here the order ID link, and this will be used for this one here, that when we have order 1, where the customer paid X amount, but in the order 1, we have multiple items, Coke, pizza, pizza 1, pizza 2, etc, etc. So all these together will eventually work as shown here nicely. And this is very important because later on we will have to show the kitchen what is the order. So that's for now, and next video we're going to focus on starting to put in the get the Ajax, put it into PHP, and then just putting it. We'll probably have to break that video down in 2 parts as well, where you have to put it in the order slip, but also put it in here separate in the orders.